Hi, beautiful creators. Welcome to Source Inspired Speaking. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to share with you a message I just channeled through about being fluid, about moving with the change, about finding your power in every situation, and how it can truly change your life. So I don't want to say too much more. I just want to let you hear the message yourself. So please sit back, remove any distractions, allow yourself to just hear this message in full, and I will talk to you after. Hello. Thank you for joining us here. We are so glad to share this message with you. And today we want to talk to you about the importance of maintaining what we call a fluid reality. What this means is that you do not hold on to anything so tightly, claim it as absolute truth, unwavering in your thoughts or decisions. Because to do this will eventually only bring you pain. You see, the very nature of God and reality is always shifting and moving and changing. And anyone who holds on so strongly to their beliefs will eventually feel left behind, will be looking towards the past, will not be experiencing the present moment for what it truly is, and therefore they will experience a discord, a form of pain, a form of suffering. You see, everything is in motion. Everything that is alive must be changing, evolving, moving forward. But when you remain stuck in one concept and reify it and hold it so that it has to be true, then you get left behind. You see, the best way to approach life is to experience the here and now, to see the truth of what is happening around you and to allow yourself to change and grow with the moment. And to allow yourself to change and grow, that means you have to allow your thoughts about what is happening around you to change and grow as well. You have to be able to look around you and see what is actually happening, not just take what you see and then transform it to fit the old thought patterns that you have. Because we tell you every time you suffer emotionally, it's because you are not seeing what is right in front of you. You are not seeing God for how it is being expressed in this moment, and therefore you are holding on to an old concept of God, the divine, of reality. For instance, many people believe that God is a God of love, and therefore they can only see God when there are moments of love around them. But then when they see something in their life that seems devoid of love, that causes people suffering and pain, then they think, how could God let this happen? How could God be separate from this moment? And that is when they suffer a dark night of the soul, when they have to really look at themselves and see what they think, what they feel. Not truly understanding that God is present everywhere, in every moment. Because you cannot see the whole picture. You were never meant to see the whole picture. It is impossible for you to see the whole picture. Because if God is everything, then God is every perspective available at once. And from your point of view, you can only experience your own personal perspective, your own way of seeing the world and the universe at a time. And that's okay. That's the way it's meant to be, because you are not to experience the whole of God in every moment. It is your perspective that makes up the whole of God. And therefore, while you are God expressing in this reality, You are creating your own vision, your own form of infinity. You are an infinite creator. But you don't have the perspective of every other person, of every other being, of every other cell and molecule in existence right now. That is not why you are here. That is not the experience that you are meant to have. And therefore we say you cannot have the whole picture. You do not ever see the whole of God in this lifetime. And that is okay. That is the way it is meant to be. But understanding that, that means that you also don't see the whole truth. And if you don't see the whole truth, then you have to allow yourself to understand that perhaps there's something you don't know. Perhaps something has shifted, something has changed, and maybe when you start to feel that pain, when you start to suffer, and when you start to look around and question things around you, that is your chance to grow. That is your chance of retaining your freedom, of becoming that infinite creator, of taking that power back and understanding I create my reality in this moment and I get to choose. I get to choose what I think. I get to choose my beliefs. I am not stuck in some old pattern created by somebody else that I was raised to believe and must believe for the rest of my life because I don't know any better. That pain, that suffering that you feel, that's saying that you are not caught up with where reality is moving. That you are creating a reality, but you are not moving forward with it. You are not allowing your beliefs to change with the new reality that you have created. And we tell you that things are always getting better, but you have to move with it. If you are creating everything you wish and desire, but then you stay in the belief patterns of that is where you were before, of that which held you back, of that which was a position of lack, then you're going to be creating and you're not going to be experiencing that which you create. And in fact, you will see others experiencing it around you because it is still a part of your life, but it is not part of your direct experience because you've created a belief system that holds you back. It's interesting because Nathan had a friend who was a shaman who passed away a couple of years ago, and he had told one of the friends at Nathan's church at Channels that he would come through and bring a message through for people after you crossed over. And when he came through, he talked about his experience of death and how he said it felt like he was scattered across every molecule in existence, as if he was turned to dust and spread across the whole universe, and had this completely different perspective of everything. And that's what we want you to understand, is that your perspective that you have right now was never meant to last forever. Who you are in this moment is not who you are meant to be the next moment. The most important thing that you can let go of is your concept of yourself. Because if you allow yourself to change, you will naturally allow the world around you to change also. And as you allow yourself to change and move with the world around you, guess what? You won't find yourself suffering. You won't find yourself in pain. You won't find yourself fighting against a world that seems to always work against you. Because you'll be flowing with the change. You'll be moving with the creation. You will be up to speed with that which you have created, and you will feel and experience wonderful and beautiful things, everything that you desire, everything that you've wished for. You will understand that when something happens to you that doesn't feel good at first, you'll understand that it's just part of your process, part of your growth, part of moving into something even better. And you'll understand I don't need to know why this is happening in this moment. I just need to trust that we are moving forward, that I am moving with God, and that God is moving me into a beautiful and amazing place because we are creating this experience together. There is no other way. And when you understand this message, there is such joy and freedom. You don't let things get you down too much. Or if they do, you tend to bounce right back because very quickly you see, wait a second, it's part of the picture I don't see here. It's part of reality that I'm stepping into, and I don't know what it is, but it's kind of scary, but it's also exciting. It's exciting knowing that there's something amazing waiting for you that you could not have even guessed. Because while you are creating your own reality, you often don't understand the layers through which you are creating it. Your reality is not created just through the thoughts that you capture and hold on to in your mind. You create on many different levels. And therefore, while those thoughts that come to you are a good indicator of where you're going, they're not an indicator of the final destination. And of course, there really is no final destination because you're always moving towards something even better, even greater. And so if you hold on to a thought that this is what you're creating right here, you're going to stop yourself from moving on to something even better up here. The only one that can hold you back, the only one that can limit your power is you. Because you are creating yourself. That's the most important thing to understand, that you are creating yourself in this moment. And if you are creating yourself, then you get to choose in every moment how you react to every situation. You are not bound to react the same way you did before. Change is easy, it's simple. It's one thought at a time. See, people who get too afraid and stop making changes are the ones that are looking down the road. The ones that are looking at seeing 1,000 decisions that it might take to get to that point. They only have to make one at a time. You get to be choosing who you are in this moment. Are you a person who can take one step forward? One step at a time, that's all it takes to change your life. One step forward at a time is all it takes to stay in sync with the universe, with what you're creating, with what we are all creating together here in this moment. To find one situation every day where you look at it and say, I don't see the whole picture, but I'm going to trust. I'm going to take a second to react differently than I programmed myself to in the past. Think of how powerful it would be if you could take one situation where you feel discomfort in the day, or you feel anxious, or you feel angry, and you could just pause and say, I remember what they said. I don't see the whole picture, but I know that God is present here. Allow God to be present in places where you find it uncomfortable to see God, and your whole life shifts. If you're watching the news and you hear about somebody dying or somebody suffering, remind yourself, I don't know how, but God's acting there, and I trust in God. If you can do that, if you can shift the way you think to allow God to be present in every moment, to allow yourself to accept what is happening right in front of you, and to move in sync with it, to allow yourself to flow with it, to allow yourself to be present in it. Because if you are allowing God to be present in the moment, you have to be allowing yourself to be there as well. Because where you take God out of, you take your power out of. So situations where you might find pain or suffering, you will not be able to deal with them if you remove God from that. So rather than praying for God to change everything, when you talk to God, when you say your prayers, when you connect with the universe, however you do it, whatever works for you, try this. God, the divine, infinite intelligence, all that is. I don't understand and I don't see the whole picture, but I know that you are present in this moment, and I am willing to trust you and move with you into this area that I feel uncomfortable and nervous and afraid, because I know that this will pass as your picture comes into full view. I understand that I am not walking into this alone, but that I have the backing of you, the universe, everything moving with me. And I trust that we are moving towards something beautiful and amazing. So God, I don't understand it all, but I am one with you, and together we will move forward and we will succeed. Try that. It doesn't have to be word for word. Make it your own. But take that leap of faith. Once a day, find something big or small and tell this to yourself. Tell yourself, I am moving forward with God, taking one step. Because you'll find yourself stepping into your power with every step you take. You'll start to see your fears fall away and you'll become confident and strong. And then you'll understand that all the things that you were keeping at bay from entering your experience will start flowing into it. You'll find that freedom to create the life you truly desire. You'll find the freedom to help others to find their way. You'll find the freedom to express aspects of yourself that you never dreamed of. To take the greatest vision that you ever had for yourself and realize that that was only a small step up, and that there are so many steps afterwards, but because you weren't taking the first step, you were never going to get past a certain level. But now you are, because you are taking at least one step every day. So every day you are moving higher and higher, closer and closer to the greatest form of who you could be, the greatest expression of God that you could be in this moment. That is powerful, and that is beautiful. And you owe it to yourself to do this, because you are infinite creator, made in the image of God, pure beauty, pure strength, pure power, pure love, pure creative force. You are a pure creative force of change. Express that and see the wonder that your life becomes. I thank you all for hearing this message. Go forth, beautiful creators, and become that which you truly desire, and express that which you truly are. Infinite love to you always. Okay, so it really speaks for itself. So often we get caught in our minds and we create this form of reality that limits us, that we stay stuck in. How many people believe the same things that they believed 30 years ago? And they seem stuck. They seem like their life has been the same thing over and over and over again. It's because they're not allowing themselves to move forward. They're not allowing themselves to take that step. But you know the truth. You know that God exists everywhere, and because God exists everywhere, that means there's no place that you cannot step into. Because you are connected to God, and God is everywhere, in every moment you can find your power, but you have to believe that God is with you. You have to believe that you are one with God in that moment, and therefore you can find your power in any situation. It doesn't matter. And that's why it's so important to take those steps, to make that uncomfortable step, that one step forward, to challenge yourself every day, because if you do, if you take that one step into that place where you find discomfort, and then you realize God's with you when you find your power, and then you take another step further into that place of uncertainty, and then you find God there with you in your power. Think of how strong you become just a few steps up. And all of a sudden, like they said, the ceiling is raised on what you can become, because we are always creating something new. But you have to take some steps up to be able to see the fact that the ceiling isn't where you thought it was. That means that you have infinite potential, that you can really become anything. In any moment, it's not too late, because God is there with you, calling you forth, pushing you forward. So go ahead, take that step. We're all supporting you. We're all there with you. Most importantly, you are there. You, infinite creator, full of power, connected to God and the divine and everything in the universe, you are present there. And when you take that step forward and realize that you are already there, dealing with it, existing in it, being successful in that moment, there's nothing you can't do. So everybody, thanks again for watching. If you like it, please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell so you get all notifications of new messages. Please love that like button for me. It really helps me out. And with that, go forth, beautiful creators. Make the life you truly desire. See yourself in that moment with God and go forth. And there is nothing you cannot do. Thanks for joining me. I love you all. I'll see you next time.